But as long as everyone's singing from the same sheets and everyone's got the same sort of vision of the future, like for a motorsport team, like we want to win that championship because that's what we do, for our partners and stakeholders. Then from a sales team's perspective, we want to hit that revenue target because that's going to give us our commission.
Yeah.
Right? So they all go, right, okay, let's get in together, and we all go towards the same denominator.
Right.
So vision's the most important. Strategy, how do you get there, is going to change all the time.
Right. And also transparency, like you rightly mentioned, you can't bring everybody into the boardroom, but then communicating that to the team and taking their input actually drives that all together, like collaboration, as we said, together hitting towards the goalpost, hitting that goal towards the goalpost. That actually, brings me to another very interesting, curiosity, rather, I would say I'm very curious to know that in sports, the resilience is such an important aspect, right? It's so competitive that you're always on your toe. And how do you keep that resilience? How do you build that resilience? And sales people also go through the same pressure. They keep getting these rejections from their customers. They have internal clients, they have external clients. They have a lot of pushback from the internal clients more than the external clients, many a times, right? So how do they build that? Like, what is the mantra for the sports people to have that resilience so that salespeople probably can mirror that, and learn from that?
I love this topic. I think we can spend many podcasts talking about this particular topic. But first and foremost, I think sales, especially new salespeople, they almost equate getting in front of a stage, talking to people or other people, they equate it to the same fear of dying. Right? So the fear is real.
Right.
But an analogy that I love, I say analogy again, but a quote that I love by a guy called David Goggins. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
So David Goggins. He said, let me see if I can get this quote right. He said that fear is like a frozen lake. It's a mile wide, but only an inch deep.
Wow.
Right, so when you are standing there in front of all those people or in this big project and talk, all you can see is just an ocean and sea of a frozen lake. The enormity of what you have to go through. Yeah. But without realizing, then if you just go through an inch deep, you're through the water and you're home free.
Wow.
And it's just about cracking that. All right. I'd say that's the first step. Is knowing that the awareness to know that you will get through this, right? And you just got to take that first step. Yeah. Secondly, from the resilience perspective, is sales is a war of attrition, right? It's an emotional game. You're up, you're down. You make a sale, you're like the top of the world. You lose a sale, you take it personally. It's a constant roller coaster, and that's not just from a junior sales role. That's from a high-level sales role as well, and that's a consistent theme throughout it. So going back to David Goggins' sort of mindset is the best way, I would say, to break free of that, is just to know that things are going to suck, right? Things are going to be tough. You will fail. That's going to be 100% certainty. You will get it wrong. You might not make any sales this month or the next 3 months, but it's just to know that you just need to keep going and learning and changing, and just know that if I make 100 sales calls this week, out of those I'll get 3 sales. And then you go, okay, next month I'm going to make 300 sales calls. Then I'm going to have 6. But then after some time, you're going to get better and better. And then that conversion rate's going to get better. Yeah. And you're going to make more sales. So it's just knowing that, just to know that the game here is not how many sales I can make. The game here is how long can I push on for without quitting, right? That's really what happens in sales. Yeah. It's just
how much can I push my limits?
How much can I push my limits? How much am I willing to learn and get better faster? Yeah.
So consistency is the key. And I think that drives to the point that discipline is such an important aspect. I have 100 contacts and I want to make 20 calls a day, out of which 3 I want to close. That calls for a large amount of discipline. And that calls a lot to do with motivation, like how much am I motivated enough to do that? So what drives motivation in that case in sports? Because when I see in the sales world, one thing, when you ask salespeople, what motivates you? They say incentives and targets and getting a better promotion. Yeah. But there's something, that I'm sure deep down, there's something which is motivating them. But from a sports angle, what keeps them motivated to really face that? life and death. If you're talking about Formula One and these races, and it's life and death, right? Because there's a lot at stake. So
yeah, this is another interesting one. I actually don't like the word motivation.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
And I'll tell you why. Let me see if I can get this right. Motivation to me is a fleeting commodity. It's not always there when you need it.
Okay.
Right? But what drives motivation, and you already mentioned it, is discipline. So when you can consistently do the hard things time and time again, that will get you the results. And you don't need motivation. And you just need to know that tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go run 5 kilometers.
Right.
And the next day, even though it's raining and snowing outside, I'm going to do the same thing. And then after you know it, you've lost 5 kilograms and you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You consistently did the right thing. And I think that's the same in sports and entertainment as well, really, is that, you got to be willing to put in the work and the disciplined work, and that goes into mindset.
Yeah.
So how strong can you get your mindset to do? And the way you get your mindset is just doing the hard things first thing in the morning. That's why people are taking ice baths nowadays.
Yeah.
Doing the suckiest thing they can in the morning
and get it out. Yeah.
But that puts you on the right mindset. So motivation for me is difficult. Imagine like you wake up in the morning and you go, I need to get up and run 10 kilometers this morning. But I look outside the window and I go, it's snowing and it's minus 20 and it's got rain, snow, horizontal rain or horizontal snow. And, motivation's only going to get you so far. It's going to get you to the front door and you're going to go, my bed's just over there. I'm just going to go back.
Exactly.
But once you've got that discipline and you've done it time and time again, I think you've obviously had NLP, neural people in your podcast before, so they can probably speak better on this. But you create these neural pathways in your head, which makes it easier for you to do those things time and time again.
Right.
So if you're in a sales team, you know that I made 100 calls yesterday. I'll do it easily again today because you've done this already. Your mind makes it's no longer a barrier. It's now, this is what we do.
Right.
And that's that's a mantra that I use actually. So thank you for that.
Okay.
It's like, this is what we do, or this is what growth feels like, are the two things that I say to myself. If I'm really struggling with something and I'm starting to make excuses, I go, this is what we do now. You wake up in the morning, I run 5 kilometers a day now. That's the person that I am. And when I feel like overwhelmed, I go, this is what growth feels like.
Right. And that's so much to do with self-awareness, and it's not because you're doing it for the organization, but you're doing it for yourself.
Exactly.
Rather than thinking, I have to get up and go to work. And I think there's another aspect to it, that how does the culture of an organization really motivate you? Motivation is, I like what you said, you don't like the word motivation because, but for the sake of, using that term, there's a lot of aspects which actually kind of culminates towards someone to take an action. But that self-discipline and wanting that, I want to push the boundaries and I want to grow, and not waiting for someone else to tell me or doing it for someone.
I think just to add to that, I think, you're right. Look, every person will have a different goal, a different agenda. They're in different times and stages of their life, so when you were a 25-year-old, you could work 16, 17 hours a day, and get up in the morning and go to gym.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you realize, actually, I don't want to do that every single day. So you got to find the people in the right phase of their life for the right role that you want them to excel in as well.
Yeah.
And it just goes back down. This is an interesting topic. Have you read the book called The Sales Dogs?
Yes, I heard about it, and I heard about you saying this.
Yeah.
I would love to know. I haven't read it completely, but I've heard about it. I would love to know about it. You mentioned a great analogy, and it'll be great for the audience to hear about it.
So 2008, 17 years ago now, I arrived in Dubai, naive, the usual story. We're going to come here for 1 year and I'm going to leave and make my money.
It's the usual story, everybody, right, when they come here.
So I got here, and the first job I got was as a sales executive in a conceptualized flooring company, exactly 3 months before the financial recession. So great timing.
Oh, okay. That's a 2008, when the whole world crashed down.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So in trying to sell something new that no one had seen before, right? So I would go, and I thought, how am I going to I don't know anything about selling. So what I learned very quickly was when I thought, I saw this book called
Sales Dogs.
And I thought, I like dogs. I got dogs, so what can go wrong? And that really opened up my eyes into what sales really was and how to apply it. And the way the synopsis of the book is that you have different types of dogs, like different types of sales dogs. So you get like a pit bull who's going to be your ruthless sales individual. He's going to get in there and he's going to do 1,000 calls a day, and he doesn't care about anything but just making that call, making that sale. That has a place, right? Then you get the golden retriever. You know, the golden retriever is that dog who's going to go, love me, love me, love me. I'll love you back. You know, I will be with you forever. And he's your nurturing sort of long,
keeping that connection, relationship, and
he's
being
your
nice.
Partnership kind of sales person. You know? Typically, that lead takes a lot longer to get there, but once you get there, that lead will be a bigger lead than you've gotten. Right, so that's your multi-million-dollar deals versus your pit bull is going to be your 2,000, 1,000
short term. Exactly. Just get the kill. I mean, go get that and close.
So there's two folds in that. So the knowing who you are first, right? Know which sales dog are you. There's a lot more other sales dogs we can go. There's the Chihuahua. There's a lot of them, right?
I was just imagining all of that now. Like, which one are you?
Exactly. So knowing who are you, what kind of sales dog are you, and then as a leader, you look at as a leader, you need to know what type of sales dog your team is, so you know when to put them in the right situation at the right time. And that's really what helped me navigate that path when I first arrived in Dubai.
And did you realize which sales dog are you when you came in?
Golden Retriever.
Oh my God! Everybody
my
loves
wife will agree.
So the relationship person. Okay, that's brilliant. So that's a very interesting point. You said that, for the leaders to know who sits where, again, it comes back to the people. You said which person fits where, what are their competencies.